Hey everybody, today I'm going to review the Knipex Cobra QuickSet pliers. These are very similar to the standard Knipex Cobras, however they do have one upgraded feature that makes them a lot easier to use, and that's specifically how you're going to adjust these. The button on them will allow you to close them with just one hand, and you can make easy adjustments by pressing that in, sliding it closed, and then it's going to lock into place. So what I want to do in this video is give you some closer-up looks at this new style of pliers. We're going to compare it to the previous version as well as the standard pair of Knipex Cobras so you can see what the differences actually are. Here's a closer look at the new QuickSet Cobras, and they're coming in at 10 inches long or 250 millimeters. It does have pretty much the exact same dimensions and design as the standard pair, and what we'll do is take a look at those next to it. Side by side they look pretty much identical, with the only difference being the push button as well as the amount of teeth machined into the handle. With the standard pair having teeth on both sides of the slide, and the new QuickSet version has teeth on one side of the slide. The other thing to note, if we do compare those to the previous QuickSet version that has the blue button, the teeth on it are actually finer. There's more teeth on the older version than the newer version, and with the coarser teeth it allows it not to slip and allows the mechanism to work a lot better. To show you firsthand how we're going to adjust all three models, we'll start out with the standard version that most people already own. Now you'll notice the big silver button. To open these you have to press and hold that down, open it up and release. However, it does not have a ratcheting mechanism. To shut it you have to physically press the button back in, line it up and release again, and it will lock in a different position. The original QuickSet version that has the large blue button is an upgrade over the standard one. You would press that down to open it up, however you don't have to press it down to shut it. It would allow you to just press the jaws together. It's going to ratchet shut. However, its flaw is it does not lock in place when you get to your desired position. So if you hit it too much, it could shut all the way on you and you'd have to start all the way over again. With the new red button design, it is an upgrade over the blue version. You'll open it up all the way, then let's say you want to shut it roughly halfway, it'll ratchet shut, and then when you pull it back slightly, that button's going to pop out and it will lock in place. At this point it won't move in either direction, and to reset it you would have to press that back in and then it would allow you to close it. Like any tool, the Cobras will have good as well as bad qualities. And even though they're great at locking on and not letting go, the hardened teeth on the jaws will dig in and mar the surface of a fastener. But when we compare the Cobras to a standard pair of Pliers wrenches, you'll notice that the Pliers wrenches actually have perfectly smooth jaws. In addition to this, the jaws close in parallel to each other, allowing you to get a 10-to-1 ratio with the amount of force that you squeeze down on them. In the vise I have a 4-way air manifold with 4 couplers coming out of the top of it. Now if you notice, these have a very nice chrome surface along each of the flats. We're going to remove one with the pair of Cobras, and then the one next to it using the Pliers wrenches. Afterwards we'll compare the two to see the amount of damage the surface sustained. Taking a closer look at both couplers, the one that the Cobras removed, you can see along all the flats is very marred up and is now damaged. However, the one we removed with the Pliers wrenches has absolutely no damage. There's no marks on any of the flats and it still looks brand new. Two of the main competitors for the Cobras would be the Irwin Vice Grip Groove Lock pliers and then a standard pair of channel locks. Now the tongue and groove design on this is time tested. Many people love this style, and as you can see, I put this particular pair through a lot of use. However, it does not have the same jaw design or the same abilities of the Cobras, especially when you consider the hardened teeth. Now previously I have done a full comparison on the Vice Grip Groove Locks versus the standard pair of Cobras, and I suggest you check that out before you buy a pair of these. The teeth are much harder on the Cobras, they lock in and they don't let go. And probably the best feature of the Cobras over either one of these will be the width of the jaws. Side by side you can see exactly what I'm talking about. The channel locks as well as the Irwin groove locks have fairly wide jaws, and then the Knipex Cobras have very narrow jaws. So if you're clamping down on something, this is going to dig in a lot better because that force is going to be amplified on a smaller, more narrow space, where the Irwin groove locks are almost twice as wide as them. That's going to spread that force out, and you would not be able to clamp down nearly as tight with something like this. Now the channel locks are not quite as wide as the groove locks, however they are much wider than the Knipex Cobras. To demonstrate how these will actually lock onto something, not let go, and you can put all your weight on the top portion of them without having to squeeze them together to get them to stay, we'll go ahead and open them up, and using the Cobra test stand, I'll line it up, slide it into place, and then we'll just go ahead and clamp down with some force. At this point they're locked in, and if I press down with my weight, it's not going to go anywhere. So literally these will lock in and not let go. I can stand on the top of them and it's not going to break off of this test stand. So putting all my weight and balancing myself on just one foot on top of the pliers, you can see almost 180 pounds. I can stand on the top and it's not letting go, and they are locked on. But then to remove them, I just have to take the top portion, lift them up, and they're going to come right off. So now you've seen Knipex's 10-inch QuickSet Cobras for yourself. And like I showed you in those clips, this is going to be very similar to the standard pair of Cobras as well as the previous version of QuickSets. However, this one is going to have the red button design, where the older version that does not work as well will have this blue button design. Now these have been discontinued, so you shouldn't be able to find them unless it's in a small store in your local town. And if you are picking these up online, the only one that should ship to you should be the new red button version. So if you happen to get a blue button version, just keep that in mind. It's not the new upgraded design that you really want to get. Now as far as the regular Cobras go versus these, they are going to be pretty much identical except for that mechanism, meaning that with the standard version you have to press the button in the whole time to open or close them, line it up and release, and then they will lock in place. With the new QuickSet, you just have to press the button in to open them, and then when you want to shut them, it's as simple as just grabbing the top handle and sliding it up. Now that is really nice. It really makes it easy, especially in a tight situation. And because the jaws are so narrow on here, when you squeeze down, it's going to put maximum force on what you're working on. With a pair of channel locks or even with those vice grip groove lock pliers, we did have a problem with them being a lot wider. And if you think about walking across snow, if you just have your standard shoe on, you're going to sink, meaning you're putting more force on the snow. But when you spread that out with a snowshoe, like those wider pliers, you won't fall through the snow because you're spreading out that force over a wider area. These will work better with plumbing fittings, nuts, bolts, or anything else you're working with. But because the hardened teeth are designed to dig in, you will mar fasteners. So if you're dealing with a brass fitting, a chrome fitting, or something you don't want to mess up, it's never a good idea to use the Cobras because they would mar the surface. In that case, it's a lot better idea to use the Pliers wrench, and I did a full video review on those also. Now lastly, these are made in Germany and they carry a lifetime warranty against manufacturer defects. So as long as it's not an abuse situation or just wearing them out over time, Knipex will fix or replace these for you free of charge. If you like this video, please click like. If you like my channel, please click subscribe. And thanks for watching.